Alright, hello everyone and welcome. This is a 2/3 full Tactical Debacle special episode with me and Slaguth doing a 2 versus 2 game versus 2 hard AI while the Duggum was absent taking care of some personal business. Here we have the yellow Contact UEF AI and his partner Hawthorne, the red Cybran. We are fighting Slaguth in beautiful green, and me, vonGreyson, in fabulous seafoam. Now this match starts out pretty much like every match we ever do, nothing special, trying to get our economies up and going. Two key points are in the south of Slaguth's base, there's a back door that he is going to have to fortify, which you see there, the engineers building a point defense already to stop the Soul tank coming for it. And in and in the north is basically the secondary front door, which I've marvelously guarded with a single point defense.
Other than that, I think we're going for basically the same strategy as our previous games. vonGreyson's going artillery, and I'm going air. Although we have tried nukes on this game.
Yeah, we've had success with the nukes, but we don't have any of those games. I think we actually won one with a nuke rush. We managed to kill both commanders because they were like standing next to each other.
This was one of the matches we tried when we were first playing Subcom 2. And we were winning for a little while, and then they released an AI patch, and then we started losing.
And you can see what the patch did right here in this shot. They are aggressive. They saw that the door was weak, and they just kicked it down. Went all Jean-Claude Van Damme on it, and just kicked it down, bashed my face in, and then chased after the commander. Which, by the way, terrible, terrible, terrible commander placement. I was trying to build a point defense from in front of the point defense.
So he's at about
less than 10%.
Yeah.
Getting saved by a single point defense.
Yeah, so I go to heal him, but he's about as close to dying as you can possibly be without
actually dying.
Yeah. And of course, while they're doing this, they're also hitting the front door, which fortunately has more point defense sitting there already.
Yeah, the UEF player has a couple of the missile launchers. Those gave us heck during these matches because they have a longer range than the point defense. So you have to have something like artillery or just flat out run out there and kill them in order to take care of them. Because otherwise they'll just sit there and try and pop things from farther away than we can really deal with.
Like these two here, they're just sitting there at the edge and the point defense don't have enough range to hit them.
But oh boy, can they hit those tanks. Slaughter! Now the commander's just like, enough of this trash.
Shield generator.
Shields.
Yeah.
You start seeing the Cybran player building his own version of the missile launchers. And the assault bots. Those guys move fast enough that they can actually run by the point defense without all getting killed. And now they're just making a beeline for my secondary base, which fortunately I had the presence of mind to build a tactical missile launcher on as they were running up, and it just takes out all of them since they're just sitting and waiting for some reason. You can see though the red and yellow's combined might on the southern door is just growing each time they send a force.
Yeah, I think there are certain kinds of buildings that they just love to destroy, and I guess research stations must be one of those, because they kept sending larger and larger armies down south.
To try and annihilate them.
Yeah.
I've got some of my own short-range artillery on the front door, but the true front door of our base is what's really taking the beating right now.
Yeah.
The number of shield generators you need to survive the continuous onslaught is just ridiculous. Like, you can see even how many you've got 5 there with a 6 going up, and 3 of the 5 have damage sustained to them.
Yeah.
The sheer amount of crap though that they were throwing at us in this game is just it's almost awe-inspiring. Like you're forced to just sit back and be like, what am I supposed to do versus this? We had one strategy where I rushed King Cryptor, the UEF ultimate land assault bot, and just walked out on the front door with like 2 or 3 of those guys, and it was a pretty effective way to just annihilate these swarms of units, but it's really kind of a ridiculous strategy that has no place in this game now that the AI is much more aggressive.
Yeah.
But it was funny because it worked a couple of times pre-patch.
So I've got an air base, or a couple of air bases coming up down south. That's what's going to be building my eventual attack force. Usually when I go for these AIs, I come with about 60 to 80 bombers or gunships, and usually that's enough to take them out.
Yeah, I think this is the game where you wanted to test the gunship thing.
Yeah.
Because we were finding that the AI in their kill squads in our 3v3 matches usually mixes in at least, 50... It's usually about 30 to 50% gunships,
yeah.
And they fly in under the shields and pop all the buildings, kind of ignoring the shields.
Yeah.
My artillery is kind of keeping the front door clear. Their main purpose is to just throw out so much fire that it pretty much doesn't matter how much maneuvering the AI does, they're going to get hit by something. And you can see it's kind of working. They're still getting up onto the front ramp, which is why I have the small amount of point defense I do have, but that number there definitely needed to be like double what it actually is.
Yeah. Let's see, what are the AIs doing? Seeing an experimental gantry, a land gantry going up for red.
Yellow doesn't even have any.
Immediately starts working on something.
Yeah.
He's got a heavy artillery.
Well, that's not the experimental
It's not
one.
an experiment.
But he does have. It is artillery that is now going for Slaguth. It found his power line somehow. I don't even recall a scout going there. But
do they have any air units?
No.
Well, they do have those sorts of continuous pushes along the south,
Yeah,
but
they
I don't
may
know
have
how far they can see. They
may have spotted something via like radar
Yeah.
here, I guess, in the southeast corner. They did see though that you have mass conversion on the back door. They don't like that too much.
Yeah.
We're just gonna point all our
if
big
they
guns.
If they didn't hate the research stations enough, they definitely hate the mass converters. Let's see here. Where's that experimental? I saw an experimental somewhere. Here we go.
Yeah, it's finally out there.
Megalith.
Megalith 2.
Although it's one of the weaker land experimentals.
Yeah, I think they've got it tiered out now. I believe there's always like a first tier experimental, and then you continue researching down that line, and then there's a secondary one. I think Cybran actually gets 3 though because of the Cybranosaurus.
Oh yeah.
Which is like their ultimate one. And of course these suicidal maniacs charging up the front door.
That actually got me killed in one game.
Yeah.
Because I was not expecting them to be able to push through. Here comes the experimental, and we'll see how fast it can die.
Lasers! You missed the call, man. He said he was charging up his lasers, and you didn't appropriately retaliate.
Boom!
Well, that was a wonderful use of resources. I have 3 long-range artillery of my own now going into Yellow's base. They're completely unprotected, though, which was a mistake. I am popping some buildings in the center of his base, though, which is good. Basically, it's starting to do what I want it to do. Keep his commander occupied and in one place. But in my infinite wisdom, I have left my back door extremely weak. And now they have 2 megaliths on my back door. However, they aren't choosing to bring them yet. God, their base sizes are so big.
Looks like they're really doing some damage to my rear base there.
But you have so many of the power converters, like they're just keeping themselves up before the volley can come back.
They're keeping themselves up, but I wasn't able to get
here we
shields
go.
up.
Now you're attacking Yellow.
Oh,
Yeah.
hello.
My artillery was able to pop his shields and Slaguth's kill squad got him at the price of its own life. One bomber survives and then suicides itself on this army attacking my back door. This is what I was not prepared for. If it wasn't bad enough, I didn't have enough for 2 experimentals. There's now 3.
So that's all of the point defense and artillery on the front door, and the shields are going down quickly.
Yeah, as well as they're also... Red is still bombarding my commander and my long-range artillery. He is not happy about it. I'm not even pointing mine at his. I'm trying to get his commander into a single spot. Just having to abandon the front base. It's pretty much a lost cause at this current time. They may be weak, but 3 of them together versus no defense can still wreck a commander. Once again, awful positioning, trying to build the buildings with the building and me in the wrong position. Now Slaguth's artillery is having to pick up the slack. It's got one of those guys to under half.
There he goes. Another one going down.
Another one bites dust.
Number 3. Okay.
Oh, and there's a 4th one standing on the hill still. Huzzah! Now all that artillery. More. Jesus, look at all that artillery.
And Monkey Lord.
Yeah, those guys
that
are
one
beasts.
Hurts.
They've got the OMG WTF BBQ My Face Laser on the front of it. It's like a squad here, which contains no experimentals, mind you. Doing a wonderful job covering the back door since I'm now having to hunker down in my own base and just build up shields. They know my commander's there, but they can't get to him, and it's quite frustrating to them. Red taking over his fallen comrade's base, as well as the southern base of his fallen comrade.
Yeah.
He's actually pumping air units out. I think I saw one come out from... Oh, no, that's just a...
No, he does.
Well, I thought it was coming from the south. It came out of his main base, I guess. Oh, gosh. No, it's a nuke! A nuke! And the terrible, insufferable antics of this research station are no more. Goodbye.
Oh, and he sacrificed.
Yeah, and then he flies in his own air scout.
And he nukes it twice. Once was not enough.
No building can withstand a nuke, yet they sent 2 to that spot anyways.
Well, oh, hello, we've even got the Monkey Lord here now.
I forgot, it came through the back door.
So, Monkey Lord's in. I'm hunkering. I'm trying to just keep myself alive.
And the kill squad does its job. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Getting carried. Nothing like it.
Well, we reversed roles in the next game.
So. Oh, yeah.